Hi students, Tony Steeman here, Graduate Assistant with Mount Vernon Nazarene University Career Services, and I'm working with Lori Gaston, the Coordinator of Career Services. If you have any questions during this presentation or any time after, feel free to reach out to Lori directly at the email address listed on the screen below. Today I'm excited to be joining you for a very special presentation as we discuss building a student LinkedIn profile. We're going to talk about LinkedIn and why it's important to go ahead and build a profile as a student. So let's go ahead and dive in. Well, first of all, LinkedIn is free. Now, of course, like many social networks, you can pay for added services, but as a recruiter, I've used LinkedIn free for over 8 years and had a lot of great success with it and never had to pay a cent. LinkedIn is the world's largest professional network, and it's really viewed as an online resume. It's a place that you can network with other professionals, people from your school, and even people in your potential industry that you would like to work in at some point. LinkedIn gives you a great chance to show off your work history, network size, skills, education, volunteer experience, and more. And you never know, LinkedIn might be that tool to land you your first job out of college. I've actually landed my last 2 positions using LinkedIn without ever applying for a job. So let's talk about the different sections of LinkedIn and which ones are important. Now, there are a lot of sections that aren't listed in this video, but these are going to be the ones that you definitely utilize to get up and running on LinkedIn. And the first section is the header. Now, one of the important points I want you to go ahead and upload is a profile picture, and I want it to be professional. No selfies in a mirror for this type of photo. You definitely want to use a professional photo. You don't have to go out and spend $200 on a suit and pay a professional photographer, but just make sure it's clean and concise and looks somewhat professional. As your current job title, I would definitely recommend listing yourself as a current student at MVNU. This lets people know that you're interested in learning and also open to networking, and it makes it really easy when contacting people in your potential industry just to let them know that you would like to meet and learn a little bit more about their company and their career field and different things like that. In addition, you want to make sure you also list an applicable geographic location. So for example, if you're from Pittsburgh and you plan on moving back to Pittsburgh to work after completing your education at MVNU, then you're going to want to list the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area as a place that you would like to network and work to really attract professionals from that location. Alright, now let's move on to the next section, the LinkedIn background summary. Some people go way overboard on the summary and try to fit all the information that's spread out across their profile into the summary. I want to encourage you to just list 1 to 2 paragraphs that summarize your experience, and this can also include ways that people can reach you on networking. And so for example, I have my Twitter account listed in my summary so people know that they can follow me on Twitter. Overall, in this section, you want to make sure that you're clear, concise, and to the point, and just give a nice summary of your background and experiences. In the next section is actual experience, and this is where you want to show your work experience. You don't want to get heavy on the volunteer work in this experience because LinkedIn actually has a section for volunteer work. But if you're in any type of leadership volunteer experience like an Actis, you can definitely list that here, or any of your previous positions. You also don't need to go crazy here listing every single position since maybe you were a sophomore in high school. You just want to list your last 3 to 5 strong experiences that will really show your work ethic and some of your leadership skills. If you're not involved in any volunteer leadership experience and you don't have any work experience, you can list out some of your academic work here, or just leave it blank. And I encourage you to reach out to Lori for some advice on what best fits your profile. Another really neat part of the experience section is that you can include links to images, videos, artwork, or audio work. Basically, as you can see here in my example in the screenshot, I've included a video for the Novo group of how to do Facebook graph search. And since I'm a recruiter and I use Facebook graph search every day, it shows off some of my expertise. So you want to make sure that the link that you're including definitely shows something to support your profile, your professional trajectory, or just some of the great experiences that you've had. In the next section is the skills, and this is where you list out top skills that basically you're good at or ones that are applicable to your industry. And what's really neat about the way that LinkedIn has created this is as you network with people and they confirm your skills, they will endorse you and kind of show off your expertise. So for example, my top 3 skills are sourcing, recruiting, and interviews. And as you can see, all the pictures of the faces, people in my network that can attest to those skills have given me an endorsement. And so it really shows off some of my expertise. So when potential employers are looking at my profile, it will show them that these are the things that I really excel at. The next section I want to talk about is certifications, and this is where you're going to list out certifications and the date that they expire. And I do want to encourage you to only list out certifications that are applicable to your career path. So for example, if you are going into the information technology field, you want to list out any IT certifications, but you don't want to list out that summer project you did becoming a certified food chef, because it really doesn't apply to your profile. So only list out applicable certifications here. And then the final main section I want to talk about is education. This is where you really want to list out your education. LinkedIn even has it down to where you can list out the specific courses that you took. And being a college student, that's not a bad idea. You just want to make sure you definitely include your current degree, your major, expected graduation dates, and any activities or groups or leadership experiences that you've had in school. And then the final part I want to talk about is just some other parts that are really important for LinkedIn. And so LinkedIn has some other options as well. They have an interest section, a volunteer experience, a contact information section, and even recommendations from previous employers. And I want to encourage you to include some of these things if they're applicable for your professional trajectory. Now, one of the things I do want to talk about real quick is the contact information section. I recommend making this public, at least with an email address. And so when people like myself who are in talent acquisition are out there looking for prospective students to take their first job, we have a way that's easy to contact you. And so I definitely recommend making your contact information, at least an email address, public on your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is a great tool, and I definitely encourage it. I've used it for years. Like I said, it's helped me to land my last couple of positions. And so I definitely encourage you to go to linkedin.com and create your profile today. Once again, if you do have any questions, the MVNU Career Services Office is willing to help you, and you can email Lori directly, and she is once again the coordinator of Career Services at the email address listed on the screen now. Have a great day, and I hope to see you on LinkedIn soon.